Hi, so these are the tips on how to cross the border from US to Canada or vice versa. Since my husband and I have been crossing the border for more than a year now for every week. So I have some tips for you for all those people who haven't tried to experience crossing the border. We're crossing the Canada border in 30 minutes. The border is the Blue Water Bridge.
12 seconds later.
First tip, make sure you have your passport ready. Your passport should have a valid visa. If you are from Canada, you have to make sure that you have a work visa. If you happen to have a work visa or a tourist visa or a student visa, and it's also the same from US. And also, if you have a permanent card, this is a permanent card from Canada, you have to make sure that they are together and both valid. That's tip number one. This is the highway going to Canada from Port Huron to Sarnia. This is Highway 69, Port Huron. Like for us, since we are used to cross this border from time to time and we know which are kind of a shortcut, so every time we see the long line from the left, first is we're gonna exit 275, which is heading to the duty free, and then it's a shortcut going to the toll fee. So,
2,000 years later.
and for the tip number 2, you have to make sure that you have toll fee payment, $3 US currency, or equivalent to 425 Canadian for the vehicle, for the car. For the trucks, I think it's about $7 to $8. So that's tip number 2. First is passport, second is the toll fee.
A few moments later.
You know what, some big trucks. And right now, we are gonna line up for the toll fee. So on the other side is the US. So that's the other line from Canada going to the States. Okay, so we stay on the left side because we are only cars and RV, and because we don't have the NEXUS pass, which is in the middle lane. To get a NEXUS pass, you have to apply at their website. I'm gonna give you the link, and you just have to apply there, and I think it's about $55. The last time I asked the officer at the border how can I apply, so he gave me the information, the website link, and he said it's about going to be 3 months process. So here on our lane is just without the NEXUS pass. The middle is with the NEXUS and the trucks. It's not that bad. This traffic is not that bad because this is just a normal. So we're going to cross the Canada side now. If you can see on the right side, which is the NEXUS. So if you happen to have a NEXUS pass, then that's your lane. But because we didn't apply for the NEXUS, so this is our lane here. and the track is over right there. They have a different lane as well. And that's the Canada duty free. And sometimes we pass this, we cross the border, just nothing, like it's empty. Only a second, then you're good to go. I am going to turn this off in few minutes because it's not allowed to take a video here, especially when you're going to talk to the officer. And of course, you are going to roll down the windows, all the windows from the driver's side, right here, and also the back side. Especially if you have a very tinted vehicles, you have to roll down the two windows. Don't forget that. Hi!
My name is Jingle.
My name is Jingle.
2,000 years later.
And tip number 3 is the receipt from your buying goods, like duty free. If you buy something, cigarettes and alcohol, you must declare it. And make sure you have to stay in, like, let's say in US, you have to make sure that you stay there more than 24 hours to avoid the fine from buying the cigarettes and alcohol. And make sure you have to show them the receipt, or at least know the total price of the receipt that you bought from that country. So that's tip number 3. Another tip is, since we coming from US, the speed limit is miles, like 75 miles. But when you cross the Canada, the speed limit is 100 kilometer per hour. So you have to remember the speed limit. So currently we are now in Canada side, which is 402. And the speed limit here is 110. Remember, this is Canada, 110 kilometer per hour. But in US, it's gonna be like about 65, I think, miles per hour. 65 or 70, I'm not really sure, but something around that, 65 to 70. Actually, they changed it, loves. Yeah, from here, 402, yes, they changed, since I think they changed the speed limit here few months now, maybe 2 months. I've noticed it. They changed from 100 kilometer to 110 kilometer.
60.
Yeah, around 65 to 70 miles from US. And the very last tip is, when you talk to the officer and when they ask you something, you have to answer them politely and just relax and straightforward, and make sure you have to smile, like just relax. So that's all the tips that I can give you. First is the passport, the toll fee, your receipt from buying goods, and the speed limit, and your smile, and being just a normal person and confident. And if you happen to have any experience that I forget to tell you, please comment below. Thank you so much, and hope to see you on my next video. And here we are finally home.